Hospital save into your Google, and they'll give you letters to send to Mr. Richard Daines and Governor Patterson, because they're the two people really who are involved. The legislature doesn't have a word to say. Somehow all the power has been given to the Director of Public Health, and that's Mr. Richard Daines, who's decided originally he wants to close the hospital, but if we get enough people pointing out that it's going to kill lots and lots of seniors, we have so many seniors in this area, in several towns that are affected, we're going to have to go for 40 minutes rather than, say, 5 or 10 minutes to get to a hospital if they've had a stroke or a heart attack. And remember, that kind of time, if you got to go 40 minutes, you're probably toast. So get your word in. Don't forget to write a letter. Everybody in the county should write a letter. Enough said. You can even email them. We have a guy here who isn't quite sure he's ever going to get on. His name is Troy Smith, and Troy has worked religiously and hard for well over a year now since he took over the office, working for seniors. He's the director of the Chautauqua County Veterans Affairs, and he is quite involved in helping vets, and there are a lot of things that you should know about it. So we'll get him on in a minute on that, and we'll open the telephones right now for anybody who wants to call in with a question. Now, everybody calls in, I'll give you a bunch of gifts. Big Mac, a couple of $5 off at that wonderful little restaurant, Lakeview. 2 restaurants, Lakeview and the Docks. One is fish and one is steaks and good things. And I think I'll give the first caller a $5 gift certificate to Tops, that friendly supermarket over in Fredonia. Okay, Troy, first of all, what's your background? Did you serve?
I served, Reed.
Where did you serve?
Well, I've served 21 years in the United States Army. I'm retired. I'm a combat veteran from the first Persian Gulf War. And I've been all over the place. I've been in Germany, stateside duties. I've started off as an infantryman in the Army and ended up as a recruiter. So it's kind of a very versatile background as far as military goes.
Yeah, did you get gassed or messed up over in the Persian War, the first one?
Well, the thing is we're not too sure exactly what we were exposed to over in the first Gulf War. Basically speaking, we were definitely exposed to a lot of different agents over there as far as the burning gas wells. There was demolition over there of a gas nerve agent site, I guess, by our engineers that caused some exposure to toxic chemicals. And then, of course, we had the PB pills, and I can't remember exactly what the scientific name is, but they're finding that that causes Gulf War syndrome.
I never heard of PB pills.
PB pills were pills that they were giving to the troops that were supposedly, if we were exposed to nerve agent or any sort of chemical warfare, this was supposed to be like an antidote to lessen the effects on us, but evidently they have pretty bad side effects.
I see. Well, how about the radiation? Now, that seemed to be an issue too. They were using the uranium, leftover uranium in the armaments.
Yeah, depleted uranium.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it was part of the M1 Abrams tanks and the Bradley fighting vehicles, which I was on. And it's a depleted uranium, of course, that it puts up microscopic particles in the air. I guess once they get into you, they're pretty dense, so they kind of settle, but they're not good for you. Yeah, obviously.
Well, the people involved in that are suffering a higher rate of cancer.
Correct.
And of course, that war was particularly harsh on. There was a lot of post-traumatic depression and so forth that happened. And, the number of soldiers that have committed murder, mayhem, suicide coming back from that war is stunning. It's record. And the same coming in now from the Afghanistan and the Iraqi war too. It's just terrible on the troops, apparently.
Yeah, well, one of the things that our agency does, the Chautauqua County Veteran Services Agency, is when we're talking to our veterans, one of the most important things that we can get across to them is the fact that they need to get in, specifically the people that are coming back from the wars, and even Vietnam veterans who may not have ever sought treatment before. Post-traumatic stress disorder is extremely serious, and it is a high running factor in our veterans. And we are actually getting them into the treatment of the VA, getting them screened for the PTSD. So it's very important that that people do realize the fact that some people won't even realize they have it. they'll just think it's part of their behavior.
Well, one of the, I guess one of the running controversies with the military right now is there is this tremendous need for medical treatment for mental illnesses, and they are kind of overlooking them. Nobody wants to talk about them. They have very few shrinks, one less now, I might add, because I think there's one for every 5,000 or 500 or something. A huge number of. There's just no way to treat these folks, and at this point, I guess they're probably going to have to get a little more serious. After who was it, Hassan? Major Hassan went berserk over in the barracks. What's your take on that? What happened at Fort Hood? That was so shocking to America.
Well, my personal take is in speaking
Yeah,
from my personal opinion,
yeah.
I think it was a terrorist attack.
You think he wanted to kill a lot of people?
I do. I feel that it was probably a sleeper cell, that person that went way too far over to the extreme and ended up committing mass murder against our soldiers.
Yeah, what did he kill? 13 people.
13 people he killed and wounded numerous. That's for sure.
Over almost 30 people he wounded.
Yes.
Many of them are still in bad shape.
Yes, they are.
It was reported that he wanted to. He'd asked to be let out, and they wouldn't let him out. And he begged that they didn't send him over there because he was himself a Muslim.
Correct.
And he didn't want to, let's say, be in a situation where he'd be fighting his own people, his own religion. So that may have contributed.
May have contributed,
and they say he had shown signs of craziness before that, and it was totally rolled over, ignored.
Well, I think as they dig into this guy's background, they're going to definitely find a lot of different red flags that should have been paid attention to that weren't. So.
Yeah, well, he ranted and raved on about killing in a video which he put on, or some sort of a site on the web. Well, anyway, let's hope that doesn't happen again. The troops are under terrible pressure, and there is not enough. You realize, most people don't realize that we're inheriting probably trillions of dollars of medical treatment for the ones that are coming back with blown off arms and legs, and God knows what happens, and crazy, and half their heads sometimes they still survive.
Oh yeah.
This is going to cost us a lot of money over the long run. You are helping in what way you can. What are the primary services that Chautauqua County is offering to our veterans here?
Well, we do numerous services. One of the biggest things is we were able to purchase a new van, which is vital to getting our veterans to the VA medical centers up in Buffalo and Erie. And that came about because our county executive took a look at our old van and realized that the important thing was to have a safe van, a nice van. So we run to Buffalo every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We transport people up to the VA Medical Center, and also on Thursday we take them to Erie. The other thing that's happened is we actually bought into the Disabled American Veterans van. We have 3 drivers throughout our county that actually will come to the house, pick up veterans, that single veterans or whatever. Single meaning by themselves, not. And take them up to the medical facilities and bring them back down.
To the vet hospital?
To the vet hospitals.
Any hospital.
The other thing is we're going actually into the nursing homes and actually getting with the seniors and getting pensions for our World War II, Korean, Vietnam veterans, and also we're working with the dependents to make sure that we can get widow's pension. For a lot of dependents.
I mean, they aren't taking care of this automatically?
We're doing this through my agency. We're actually talking with the administrators and the different facilities to make sure that when somebody goes into a nursing home,
they receive the
when they receive them, to make sure to ask them if they're a veteran or or the wife is a veteran, because there's a lot of services or a lot of benefits that are available. And we're servicing the majority of our people are
how many?
We got about right now 12,000 veterans in Chautauqua County, and that's not including the dependents.
Who are incidentally, they tell me a lot of the current veterans who are over serving in Iraq and Afghanistan are basically on welfare. They're getting food stamps. They they're desperate for funding. They don't make enough to survive, to pay for their families.
Yep. You know, unfortunately, the military, you know, it's not